guys, welcome to the HIE5 show. Today we are in conversation with a very old and dear friend of mine, Devduti Sinha, who's a medical student at Rajiv Gandhi Medical College and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Hospital at Kalwa, Thane. This video is actually the first part of a three-part podcast series wherein we talk about the student mischief, ward shenanigans, and most importantly, the life of a medical student. Hope you like this video. Hi Devduti ji, thank you so much for doing this with us.
I have to point this out that this G that she is calling me is an inside joke between us. We both are of the same age and we are very close friends, and it is not a sign of respect but that of playful banter. Moving on, I'd like to say that I'm honored, Ankita. After I think a lot of time, like 2 years we're talking, and that's so professionally, and it is giving me immense joy to be on this platform and give out whatever has helped me to a lot of people who are hearing this. So thank you for having me.
I'm honored. I'm more than honored to have you. We are gonna have a doctor on show.
Soon to be doctor, and hopefully fingers crossed. And I want
sure
to
you'll make it.
thank you so much for the confidence.
Getting to what this is about today, would you like to tell us about how a day in the life of a medical student looks like?
So actually I have dreamed this in a lot of ways, like what will happen when I become a medical student. I can't say of a doctor basically, but then I've just started out. So I'll tell you what my life, encapsulates as in a day. So I'll start off with the first thing that I do is keep a reasonable alarm so that I can achieve, like I can get up. So you cannot keep up unreasonable expectations like waking up at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning, and you keep on hitting the snooze buttons and you don't get up eventually. So what you have to do is start with a basic time wherein you can have your sleep nicely also, and you can get up in time also. So that is actually 5:30 in the morning for me. After that I do a little meditation to calm myself down for the day, and after that I take a little breakfast and I then go to the train station where I take a local. I am sure that you of all people will know the struggles of going out and about in a local train. I mean, it's pathetic and it is sad really, because you have to travel to places and you can't avoid local trains. But with time you get used to it, like it's a vital part of your life, so you're very accustomed to that. After that, when I reach the college, it is the most vital part of my day. So we have divided it into two parts. That is, before lunch we have clinical rotations. I'm in the second year of medical course, so we have clinical rotations in the wards and OPDs, and in the second half we have practicals and lectures. So in the first half is the most interesting thing that I've come across as a medical student. So what is being done is that essentially as a medical student, what you do is you observe the patients that come in with their different complaints and histories of their problems, and you basically observe the doctor, that is the attending doctor, reach to their diagnosis. Like I'll give you an example. Suppose in a medical OPD there is a patient who comes to you with a throat lump, that is a lump in their throat. So you can't just jump to it that and you can tell him that boss, you have cancer. You have to go through the differential first, like you have to do the clinical examination of the lump, you have to ask about all the history of the patient, what are the chief complaints, and then you have to make a differential diagnosis that consists of more than one diagnosis that can cause that lump. So for lump we can have that, as I already described, tumor. We can have cervical lymph node enlargement due to tuberculosis. We can have thyroid swelling due to Graves' disease. So after giving tests and then interpreting the results, we come to the conclusion that this person has been affected by so and so disease, and then we suggest the line of treatment. That could be medical, that could be surgical. So this is the one OPD I talked about. Like that we have a lot of postings, that is for surgery, medicine, ENT, ophthal, then we have gynac OPD. So my first and most profound experience as a medical student was watching a natural delivery in the
Wow.
gynecology OPD. Yes, I mean it was.
And this was in which year?
This was in second year only, because in the first year we're not
Acha,
allowed
okay.
with the postings, like to interact with the patients.
Okay.
That is from the second
Got
year.
it, got it.
So it was magical. Like, I mean, I can't stress enough how wonderful and amazing it was. You can literally like see a person coming out of another person. I know it sounds gross, but it is a like circle of life. It is a miracle of life that a mom goes through so much for 9 months and then gives a healthy and happy human being that goes on to do wonders for his or herself. So that was beautiful. I mean, the baby had just come out and it was like wiggling all his fingers and toes.
Wow,
It was
this
beautiful.
sounds so surreal to me.
Exactly.
I
It was
know.
a life-changing moment. I mean, of course, you have to look at it at the medical point of view. You can't just fawn over the baby, ki, oh, so cute and stuff. But then it like it shows you the power that a doctor has. Like
Right.
facilitating a newer being into the universe. So I feel that more power to the doctors and to the children and students who are aspiring to be one. And then
Right, absolutely.
thank you. And then we have the lecture. So obviously that is the boring thing that we go through. I mean, sleep. Mostly medical lectures are no different, except I think
Acha.
they're even more boring, because I think you'll read a book and find it more interesting than the PPTs and stuff they show. And everything is same. But one thing I think the students have more is confidence, because I'll tell you one thing that happened in our class. Mostly you either sit on the first bench or on the last bench. So these last benchers mostly scroll through their pictures on Instagram and stuff. So once the teacher saw it and she asked him, stand up, what were you doing? So as a normal person, what you will do is you will stay quiet or
Run away.
obviously
Yeah,
you
yeah.
won't do anything. You'll just take your head down and shape. But that guy
Right.
had the audacity to show the teacher what he was doing on his phone. So he was surfing Instagram and the
God.
browser and stuff, and playing games, I think, I don't know. And then the teacher was like furious. And the main thing in medical you're going to do is for the attendance, like lectures. Obviously in most colleges I think people do it for the attendance only. So but after all that confidence, it didn't even like achieve an attendance for him, and he had to go out of the class. So that is what happens. Yeah, it is no different than a normal college student, but yes, for the practicals they're very enhancing, and they're very practical. Like in the first year, I'll just brief it about the first year. You have anatomy you have dissection. So that is actually the cadavers, that is the dead bodies. You dissect on them and then you learn the positioning, the consistency, of the different organs. Even the brain is the most delicate organ apart from the heart. So you don't like do it with the scalpel, you do it with a paintbrush. You mark a different linings and all the parts and where all the arteries go. It is very confusing, but when you correlate what you've studied in the book with the matter that is present in front of you, that helps to remember, to regain, and that is for the betterment of your practice in the future. And after that, basically I come home and I don't have even the strength to switch on my TV or any web series or something. I just read up the things that has been taught. I try to. I know it is not ideal, but then if you can try, it is a very good thing, because that way it doesn't pile up on you. And after that, I just eat and go to sleep. There is nothing more.
Oh God, that's a very busy day. Life of a medical student is difficult, but certainly worth it. What do you guys think about this? This marks the end of the part 1 of the podcast series. Part 2 and part 3 would be out soon. Stay tuned for that. While you're at it, check HIE5 out on all social media. The links would be in the caption.